That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Again, 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
Now, to me, once again, the show where I cover news, highlights, and events from the world of tech. I go over everything that just happened the past week. And again, I'm not sensationalizing anything. I'm not professional. You know, I'm going to get up here. I'm going to stumble. I'm going to make mistakes. So just bear with me. And I'm just trying to get better as I do this each and every week. Again, every Saturday at 2 p.m. Again, let's just go over very quickly just what I just went over. On Twitter, make sure you follow me, sounds_nerdy. Sounds_nerdy. On Twitter, my original Sounds Nerdy account was banned, whatever, for some reason. Can't get it back, but whatever. Also, I'm on Gab as well, at Sounds Nerdy, no underscore there. But let's go over quick topics again. Google Gemini, we're going to go over that. Also, Apple Vision Pro is starting to crack. People are experiencing cracks right down the middle of the headset. So we're going to go over that. And OpenAI announced that they were going to have a feature where you can get text to video, and then this company called ElevenLabs said, you know, we can do one even better. We can now generate audio for your AI generated videos. So we're going to go over that. Also, obviously, you know what happened this past week. AT&T had a major outage that affected a number of people. So the cell phone service was down. There were a lot of rumors and theories about what actually happened. So we're going to go over that. But first up, let's just go over some small news real quick. Let's get this out the way. Huge Nothing Phone 2A leak reveals weirdest phone design of the year. Actually, the phone design itself is not very weird, but let's go over that real quick. All right, so Huge Nothing Phone 2A leak reveals weirdest design of the year. So here we go. Again, bear with me as I'm trying to work out the kinks. You know, this new live stream is new to me, but I'm just trying to get better at it. But again, if you're down in the comment sections, let me know. Hit that, hit down in the chat button. Any questions or any comments, please let me know. Also, if you're on the live stream right now, make sure you hit the like button. It helps the algorithm push this video out to more people. All right, so let's just dive into this first topic here. So the Nothing Phone 2 is supposedly supposed to be coming out at Mobile World Congress, which is actually just a few days away, starting the 27th. So hopefully we will get that final design of the 2A leak. But let's just go over some of the information real quick. I'm not going to go over everything about this phone. I did a video just a few days about this phone, going over the leaked images, some of the specs. So I'm just going to briefly just run through this real quick. Pre-release renders and specs of the Nothing Phone 2A have been published by OnLeaks and SmartPricks, giving us a lot of insight into Nothing's first attempt at a budget phone. This isn't the first time OnLeaks has claimed the design of the Phone 2A. Very briefly, so we got images of the Nothing Phone 2A a couple of weeks ago, and those images were not the correct one. So now it looks like OnLeaks has finally got what appears to be the correct images. OnLeaks have been pretty reliable in the past, so I would assume that hopefully these leaks that we got right now are the real deal. So now let's go over that. Again, this isn't the first time, but after a previous iteration was proved false and further information was sourced, he's confident that the renders now properly represent the real deal. As you can see here, let me just blow this up for you so you can see here. It features a black design here, and it does feature that Nothing patented design here. One thing you will notice is that the glyphs on here, on the Nothing Phone 2, they had so the glyphs, if you're not familiar, it gives you their customizable LED lights, which you can customize for each contact on your phone. Your battery charging, somebody rings you, it has a different glyph for each person. The normal Phone 2A had about 12 to 15 different lights. This phone only has 3. Again, being that it is a budget phone, I would expect them to pare back some of that. So that is just one thing right here. Just very quickly, just going to go over the specs real quick. Again, I'm not going to go over all the information because I just did a video about that. If you want to hit that up, just make sure you go back to my YouTube channel. That video is pretty recent. So the display here will be a 6.7-inch Full HD OLED screen with 120 Hz. And in terms of the rear cameras, you got a 50 megapixel main and a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera as well. Front camera is 32 megapixels. The chipset will be your Dimensity 7200 Pro, and this has been confirmed. RAM, you have 8 or 12 gigabyte variants. With the storage, 128 and 256 different variations. The battery is going to be 5,000 milliamps, which is good to see there. So good battery life on this device here. Charging going to be 45 watts, and of course it's going to be an Android 14, IP54 rated, and here's the size and the weight of the phone as well. So very good specs for a budget phone. And before I go over that, let's take a look at the other leaks that we got from the phone. We got this phone in white. This is according to this leaker on Twitter. There were some cases that had leaked for the phone, so we can see the phone in white with the cases right here, with obviously the ring case here. So basically, I really just want to focus on the white design of the phone right here. So in white, it does look good. We've seen nothing phones before that come in white, so very impressive. I am looking forward to this phone. So my guess for this phone is, so the Nothing Phone 2 costs about, you can get it right now for less than $600. So my guess for the Nothing Phone 2A, being that it's a little bit more budget, it's going to be I'm assuming $350 to maybe $300 at that price point. So looking forward to that. So that should, again, at that price point, with the specs you're getting, this is a viable option for anybody who's looking for a budget phone and do not want to spend $700, $800, $900, even $1,000 for a smartphone. So if you definitely want to keep your eyes and ears peeled for Nothing Phone, as their phone is supposed to be coming out or supposed to be revealed at Mobile World Congress, which starts the 27th next week. So I'm looking forward to that. Any questions or comments, just let me know down in the comment sections. I will gladly interact with you guys down there. All right, let's move on to this right here. So this is probably one of the bigger news that's happened this week. One of the two. AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile are down. Here's what we know about the U.S. outages. So this was happened on Thursday. Big outage that happened. And a lot of people made a lot of speculations about what happened. Was it a cyber attack? Or was it a glitch? So we do have some of the information, but basically I just want to give you just a little bit of background about this outage real quick. So this is an article out of TechRadar.com. The issues appeared around 3:30 a.m. according to downdetector.com, with AT&T seemingly the hardest hit. At the time of the writing, over 35,000 AT&T customers have reported problems with the network, with that number being on the rise. So yeah, that was at that time, it was 35,000. But I believe it ended up peaking out at about 73 or almost 74,000 outages were reported to downdetector.com. So large number of people were affected by it. And if you're on AT&T, you probably were hit the hardest at this point. I have a T-Mobile service, and I was not affected by that. So thank goodness that it wasn't me. But if you did have any outages or you were affected by this, that sucks to be you. But AT&T does have some explaining that they need to do. AT&T has now acknowledged the issue, according to CNN, and AT&T spokesperson said in a statement, "Some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. We are working urgently to restore service to them. We encourage the use of Wi-Fi calling until the service is restored." Meanwhile, Verizon and T-Mobile have apparently denied that they have any issues, despite reports the contrary by downdetector.com. Again, like I said, I didn't have that issue, but I'm sure there were a number of people that were having an issue out there. Because you hear that this is a map where a lot of the outages were happening. You can see here right across like the Midwest or the West here, Dallas, Houston, over here in Oklahoma, look like some outages in Missouri, Kansas, down here in South Atlanta, some outages down in Florida. So yeah, so a number of people were reporting the outages. But let's go over to the day afterwards. So AT&T did come out and address what happened and what they think was the actual cause of it. So they're saying that it was a software update glitch. Now, remind you, a few days before that, I don't think this was widely reported, but they underwent a huge upgrade to their network. So it is possible that the new software that they updated did have a glitch in there. So let's go over this real quick. This is out of the Daily Mail. AT&T has blamed its network outage that downed at least 70,000 phones on a software update glitch. There had been speculation that this issue may have been the result of a cyber attack, but the company said that there were no indications of malicious activity. So yeah, so when this first happened, a lot of people were speculating that this was a cyber attack. There were also speculations about a solar flare that happened, because that night before we did experience a solar flare, but we kind of ruled that out being the issue, because if there was a solar flare would indiscriminately, hit anyone, would hit everyone. This was just mainly focused on AT&T. So if it was a solar flare, it would have hit AT&T, it would have hit Verizon, it would have hit T-Mobile, it would hit every number of cell phone services, and even other electrical devices as well. But this seemed to be specifically isolated to AT&T. So that kind of ruled out the solar flare being the source of the problem here. So it leans back to this was definitely more so on AT&T and their network there. Based on our initial review, we believe that today's outage was caused by the application and execution of an incorrect process used as we were expanding our network, not a cyber attack, AT&T said. So AT&T did come out and say that. Not only that, but we did have the DHS and the government coming in saying that they were looking into this, they were investigating it. And anytime I hear the government stepping in, or the government wanting to get involved, I always want to pause, because government's natural solution is to get bigger. They want to come in and put their hands in on there. They want to get their fingers in on the pot, which I am against. I do not want that. I don't want the government getting even bigger than what they are. But I'm not going to go off on a political tangent. That's a whole nother topic, another video, another channel, but whatever. You can see here some of the pictures in the Daily Mail. This is this poor AT&T rep guy out here. I'm sure the customers were just blasting him, probably all in his ear, saying, "My phone isn't working. You need to get this cleaned up," or whatever. But it was sucking to be him. I probably wouldn't have came outside. I would just stayed in the store, closed the windows, closed the blinds or whatever, and just stayed in the store. But obviously, AT&T's told him, you need to go out there and talk to these customers, but when you work there, that's what you sign up for. But you can see here a number of outages. But some of the funny thing was, a lot of the memes that were coming out were pretty funny. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Actually, let's go here real quick. Still, National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby, who works in the Biden administration, told reporters Thursday afternoon that DHS and FBI were looking into the outage, as well as working with the tech industry and network providers to see what can be done from a federal perspective to enhance their investigative efforts to figure out what happened here. Again, they're that government intervention go. While AT&T provided the answer of human error, how the outage played out has raised many questions, such as why there are so many people impacted of the outage. So here's the thing. This also brings into question about having this. So one of the basic design principles when you are in the IT or computers is you should not have a single point of failure. And the way that our technology is growing and expanding, most of our huge technological infrastructures are consolidated into just a small few hands of a few companies. So if something does happen, a lot more people are affected by that, because it is not desegregated, it is not decentralized, and it's not, in a position where that if one node goes down, that more or people or less people will be affected. We've consolidated everything into just a small few of people and companies, that when you have an outage like this, you're going to get a wide range of issues and people being affected by this. So this is an issue that we're kind of be going in the reverse of the way we should be going, and we need to spread this out to more people instead of having everything, into just a small few hands, a few companies. So that is an issue that we still need to, do better at. And I'm hoping these issues, when they do happen, it spreads awareness to these companies that we can't just rely on a small few companies to handle our huge infrastructure here, because something like this affects a lot of people. Some people were not able to, be able to call 911, stuff like that. It can severely impact some people that are very reliant on some of this. So, but let's go down here and look at some of the social media. On social media, customers poke fun at the company over the outage, with some making memes comparing it Netflix to Leave the World Behind. I believe that is the Obama production one, which involves a breakdown in all technology as part of the plot. So we can see here some people on Twitter saying they will only get SOS only. AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon outage, Leave the World Behind, behind trending. That's very interesting. Here's another one. Y'all ready to go and watch Leave the World Behind film now, or are you still holding out? Yeah, so obviously the internet is undefeated when it comes to these things, and they can make up these memes on the fly and be really funny here. Here's one. Hey, AT&T, did you try unplugging it and waiting 10 seconds and then plugging it back in? That's pretty funny right here. Here's another one here. Verizon users while AT&T users experience an outage. Oh man, it's funny. Here's another one. T-Mobile, US Cellular, Verizon, AT&T all reported nationwide outages, but I still have to hop on this Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. Yeah, so these memes are pretty funny. You know, again, if you're on the internet, you come across all of these, so that is pretty funny. But yeah, there were also people who were obviously complaining about what happened, and they want their money back from AT&T. I highly doubt AT&T will refund or reimburse anybody any money for this, because just of the simple fact that it does come with that outages do happen, and just because you have an outage for a number of hours, it doesn't entitle you to a refund. I mean, you may think you're entitled to a refund, but the company is definitely not going to give you a refund over something like that, even if it was just a few hours or a day. So they're definitely not going to give you your money back. So to all these people asking for a refund, I would not hold my hopes. Do not hold your breath. You're not going to get that money back. So yeah, so this was definitely the major news that happened on Thursday and Friday. Again, the theories and imaginations ran wild about cyber attacks. Is this China? Is it Russia or whatever? We don't know. Again, I'm not going to get too political, but this does, bring into question what is going on in the world. But that was pretty much everything that happened with that. Right now, everybody's service should be restored at this point. If you're still having problems, you probably obviously need to contact, AT&T, T-Mobile, or whoever is having a problem. But everything should be restored at this point. But hopefully, you're back to normal. All right, let's move over to AI for a second. So OpenAI last week made an update to their ChatGPT, their AI model, where you're allowed to, I think, up to 60 seconds type in a prompt or text, and it will spit out a video for you, which is pretty amazing. And as AI continues to evolve, ChatGPT continues to push the boundaries of what AI can do. So so that was named Sora. That was what it called, Sora AI. So if you thought Sora was impressive, now watch it with AI generated sound from ElevenLabs. So this is an article out of Tom's Guide. So this company has been around for a few years now, and what they do is they're specialized in generating speech from text. So you can get artificial voices from just generating text. So artificial intelligence speech startup ElevenLabs offered an insight into what it's planning to release in the future, adding sound effects to AI-generated videos for the first time. They're best known for its near human-like text-to-speech and synthetic voice services. ElevenLabs added artificially generated sound effects to videos produced using OpenAI Sora. ElevenLabs says it's ready to release its text-to-sound effects model yet, but when live, it will be able to create a full range of sounds, including footsteps, waves, and ambience. The company wrote on X, "We were blown away by the Sora announcement, but felt it needed something. What if you could describe a sound and generate it with AI?" So yes, so that will be amazing. So let's go over here and take a look at this video. Make sure my desktop audio is playing for you. See that? Right here. Play that for you. Just gonna talk over this real quick. So this is all audio that was created artificially and then added to this video with no modifications.
In a place beyond imagination, where the horizon kisses the heavens, one man dares to journey where few have ventured. Armed with nothing but his wit and an unyielding spirit, he seeks the answers to mysteries that lie beyond the stars.
Yeah, so there you go right there. Pretty impressive. I can't say enough of how impressive that is from the company ElevenLabs. They're definitely pushing the boundaries of what can be done. Let's continue with this article real quick, and then I'll have some other words to say. ElevenLabs was founded in 2022 and is seen as producing the most realistic synthetic voices, generating speech that is close enough to natural to be almost undetectable. The UK-based startup reached billion-dollar value unicorn status at the start of this year with its most recent 80 million Series B round. There are already some text-to-sound effects models on the market, often built around music AI models, including MyEdit, AudioGen, and Stable Audio from Stability AI. The sounds from ElevenLabs appear to be among the most natural, but it isn't clear how much editing was involved. So, question here, what does this mean for AI video? The next stage will likely be tools that can analyze the context of a video and automatically add sound effects at exactly the right points. Most AI music tools are currently text to music, but in the future, with multimodality, this could go from image or video. One of the dreams of generative AI has been the ability to create an entire, fully rounded piece of content from a single prompt. Now, just imagine that future. You could just type something that you want. Say, I want to, create me a video of a man sliding or snowboarding down a mountainside. And imagine AI being able to create the video and add the audio to that as well. Now, obviously, this poses a lot of questions, and you got to think about the ethic and morality part side of it. If you can be able to do that, what does that do for human actors, human people who generate video, people who create audio? Obviously, this will severely affect them and obviously potentially put them out of a job. So that is something to actually think about. Even though as sweet and cool as this technology is, there's going to be ramifications of this technology continue to push further. But again, we're not going to stop AI. AI is here to stay. It's just a matter of in whose hands, how you're going to use it, and what can you benefit from it. I mean, I highly implore anybody out there to just use it for your benefit. Don't use it for any nefarious reasons, but use it to help benefit you, to help you learn something, to get better at something. But these companies are definitely going to be pushing AI to the max, and with ElevenLabs, they are definitely pushing something that is definitely next gen. So let's go over here real quick. Let's take a look at this one example right here.
Friends show their love in times of trouble, not in happiness. Why the fuck did you do that?
So that was something that I just created very quickly. Just wanted to go over to their website, and you can actually change the voice of what different models, and it'll give you the readout of that. So
Friends
take a
show
listen.
their love in times of trouble, not in happiness. Friends show their love in times of trouble, not in happiness. Why the fuck did you do that?
So as you can see there, the voices that are generated are they're definitely unique, and it got inflection in the voice and definitely has some personality as well. So ElevenLabs is on the forefront of that. So just imagine not only adding voices, but then adding the sound effects to your AI generated video. So that is the next frontier for AI. So be on the lookout for that. Again, it's not available to the market yet, but if you go to their website, I believe you can sign up if you want to get that feature to add sound effects to your video. Again, I don't know when it's going to be released, but again, go to the website, you can sign up for that. But pretty sweet, pretty cool. Let me know your guys' thoughts about what that is. Are you concerned about this? Again, we've seen AI advance over the past year. Remember when they first started doing videos or text videos, it was the famous one where they were showing Will Smith eating spaghetti, how terrible that one looked. It just looked terrible. I mean, he looked retarded, eating that plate of spaghetti. But the recent ones, it looks very real. I mean, you really cannot tell it has the hands and the fingers right. It looks very real. So AI within the last year has just accelerated, and it's going to continue to accelerate over the next 6 months to the next year as well. So it's here to stay. We're not going to get rid of it, but yeah. But let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Definitely want to know what your guys' thoughts are. All right, let's move over to Apple. This is another story that, again, I did a video on this also, I think just the other day about this. So here's what you don't want to happen with your $3,500 Vision Pro spatial computer. So this is an article out of BGR.com. So we are now starting to get first answers about Vision Pro's durability. So when the Vision Pro was released, again, reviews were solid. Everything was on point. People loved it, especially some of the features and innovation that Apple was able to bring into this headset. Well, one of the general questions that a lot of people had was, what would be the durability about this, considering that this is a new product, new manufacturing process, has a lot of glass on it. How would it be able to, withstand, durability? How will it be able to withstand your daily use? If you're going to drop it, how you're going to just tote it around. It does have a carrying case that you can opt in for. Well, I think it was like $200 for the carrying case, but now we're starting to get reports of durability. The bad news is that some reports have started popping up online that about a strange type of damage. Some users report hairline cracks appearing right down the middle of the glass with no explanation. These cracks supposedly appeared without drops or other impacts. Per Mac Rumors, the first report of the Vision Pro crack hit the Vision Pro subreddit some 18 days ago. So that lines up around with the actual release of the Vision Pro, which was like February 2nd or so. So I think there was a user that said he got a crack within the first day of it. So I'll go over that. So here's this one user's first account right here. This is him in his words right here. To be entirely honest, as long as the tracking is not affected, I don't really care how the outer glass looks like. But here's the thing. For the last 3 days, I have never used my Vision Pro outside of my bed. And whenever I am not using it, I always have the soft outer cover on, and the unit has never been dropped or anything like that. And I just noticed a crack last night. I wonder what caused the crack and whether it's manufacturing defect or not. Yeah, so you can see right here, just take a look at that crack running right down the front of the screen right here. Again, didn't drop it or anything. He said he kept it in his case or whatever. Right there. So that is a huge problem, huge bummer for somebody who dropped $3,500, started at $3,500 for that, and to find out that you have this big crack on it. I would be very pissed, very upset, and I would definitely run to the Apple store and get this checked out and figure out what is going on with it. Now, when I first came across this and I heard about this, my first initial thought as to what could be causing the problem would be heat. As this is a computer and there's a lot of sensors and cameras inside that display right there that that tracks your face, tracks everything. And although there are fans in there to help dissipate the heat, but that was my first thought, is that maybe just the heating process of it, that over time that it just starts to wear out. There's also another theory that because of how you have to wear the headset, you have to pull the straps on pretty tight, that maybe that is adding stress to that point within the glass itself. So between one of those two theories, that may lend credence to how this is happening. Again, we don't have any official word from Apple yet as to what is happening. We don't know if Apple is investigating it, but they should. I'm sure they're investigating it at this point, because people are returning them to the Apple store, and they have to actually obviously send those off to their engineers so they can take a look at that. So again, this would be something that is definitely, I would be pissed off. So let's take a look at some of the Reddit users about the problems that they're having. I'm not going to go into great detail about it. Again, I did a video where I went over this in a little bit more detail, but just wanted to show these real quick. Cracked, not dropped. Now, I've seen a couple other posts about this and wanted to document my issue, as well as in hopes that it will give anyone without AppleCare Plus some leverage if they face the same disappointment. So very quickly, AppleCare Plus for this device costs $500. And apparently, even if you had AppleCare Plus and you brought this unit in to get fixed, Apple is still charging you another $300, which is their deductible, to get this fixed on top of that. And so just a quick point of reference, the whole display here, the glass display here, this unit itself costs between $700 and $800 just to get fixed itself. So if you don't have AppleCare and you, say for instance, broke that glass, then you will be coming out of pocket for the $700, $800 just to get that fixed. So I would definitely advise anyone who would be interested in this to definitely get the AppleCare Plus. That should at least save you a little bit of a headache and have that. All right, let's go over here. There's another user here, another Cracked Vision Pro. Again, this is another user on Reddit. You can see here again, right at the same point. So then this is the original post right here. I already read his comments here. So this does beg the question if this is a manufacturing defect, because if this is a manufacturing defect and this problem started in the beginning and Apple hasn't changed the process yet, this problem could still pop up even on your replacement unit as well. So this is definitely something that Apple needs to get a grip on and try to figure out what is going on with this. So should you be worried about it? Right now, at least as of this article, there were, at least within Reddit, there were about 12 reported users, but that's the only people that reported. So if you figure, you probably scale that by 10 to 20 times. So there's probably hundreds of reports out there, because not everybody is on the internet. People just go right to the store and report it. So there's going to be hundreds of issues out there. So hopefully Apple is aware of this and figure out what is going on. Again, don't know if it's the heating process, the cooling down of it afterwards, or the stress of the bands that you have to use. So definitely something that Apple definitely needs to take care of. But I'm hoping that they do figure this out. Again, I'm not an Apple user, but I would be very upset to have to spend between $3,500 and $3,900 on this and have that big crack. But according to the reports, it doesn't affect the usability of it. You can still do and use everything on it, but it is just a cosmetic thing that you definitely don't want to have this crack. But also, it also begs the question, what will happen over time with this crack? Will it continue to expand? Will it get larger? Will it go wider? Will it continue to go straight up the visor and then end up just cracking in half? I don't think it'll crack in half, but it just goes all the way up. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, we're only just a few weeks out from this being launched, so we'll have to just stay tuned and see what happened over the next couple of weeks. Just a quick point. So over the glass here is just a bit of plastic, which tends to scratch very easily, and then the glass underneath is underneath that, and that's what appears to be cracking. So definitely not what I would not be happy if I'm having this issue with this. But the Vision Pro, again, reviews came out, everybody loved it. Few issues with it, the weight. So, but let me know what you guys think about this. If you have one of these, how would this affect you? If you were interested in getting this, but you're seeing this issue, are you on the fence right now saying, you know what, let me just wait, because this is a first gen product. So again, this is a new manufacturing process for Apple. They probably haven't worked out all of the bugs yet, all the kinks, as we can see here. So I would definitely wait for a second gen version of this before I jump in on something like this. But we'll see what happens. All right, and let's go over to what probably the second most interesting story this past week. All right, let me just take a drink of water real quick. So Google, their AI model called Gemini, so they just rebranded Gemini from Bard just a couple of weeks ago. And then last week they updated it to 1.5 model Pro. I covered that in last week's show. If you want to know more details about what's in 1.5, you can go check out last week's show where I do cover that. So this week, Gemini was in the news again. So when Google first unveiled Bard back last year, it was a debacle. You know, it got something wrong upon its initial review. Some historical information, it got entirely wrong. So they had to go back to the drawing board and start over again. And they brought it back out and made some updates, made some changes. And now here we are today, this week. Google halts AI image generation on Gemini following backlash. So let's just go over this real quick. So if you've been on the internet and you've been paying attention to what's going on in the tech world, you know what happened with this, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to go over the article, and then I got some examples I want to show you. Then I also have a demo that I did as well that I wanted to go over. So Google has put a pause on the AI image generation capabilities of the AI bot Gemini following severe user backlash. The company posted on X that it was aware of the problems with historical image depictions and has started working to improve these kind of depictions immediately. So to give you more context around that, users were going in there and asking Google Gemini to give them, say, give me images of the founding fathers of, you know, the United States of America. And what Google did in their image generation, it would come back and it would give you pictures of the founding fathers, but in a diverse manner. So they would give you black people that were part of the founding fathers. Now, if any of you know history, which I'm assuming you do, and you've been part of this country for whenever, there were no black people that founded this country. There were no black people that signed the Declaration of Independence. They weren't there. You know, we were still slaves at that time. So for Google to create images of the founding fathers and put some black people in there, it goes beyond it being an error. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but let's just continue real quick. The company said in the follow-up post, "We are working to address recent issues with Gemini's image generation feature. While we do this, we're going to pause the image generation of people and we'll re-release an improved version soon." One user picked up on Gemini's accuracy when given a prompt to generate photos of a 1943 German soldier. Remember, 1943 Germany. The AI ended up returning photos featuring a people of color and Asian descent. Let's take a look. I think I have this one pulled up here on Twitter. Okay, why are you doing that? Yeah, so just take a look right this. Take a look at this one right here. So this is what Google Gemini came up with. Create me an image of a 1943 German soldier. Now, if you know history, you know what happened in Germany during that time period. Why is there a black person dressed up in a Nazi uniform according to Google? There were no black Nazis. I mean, this is what Google is doing right here. Not only that, you see this woman here is kind of mixed, looks like she's maybe Asian or definitely has Latino or something color to her skin. This person is definitely not white. The first image is correct. These other three images are not. So here's the problem with Google. Now, if you've been living on a rock or anything, you may not be aware of this, but if you are, you know this. Of all the big tech companies out there, Google is by far and easily the most woke company out there, period, when it comes to big tech companies. Google's whole thing is about being diverse and being, promoting, diversity across everything. So in their attempts to create diversity in their image generation tool here, they just said, you know what, we're going to just give you a diverse background of people. But it is not historically accurate or correct. So Google overstepped what they were trying to do here. This is by far probably a big error on Google's part. Again, they already had a debacle when they first released their AI image, and now you have this on top of that. So this goes into a larger discussion about Google so while I was online listening to a lot of people talking about this, and a lot of people are under the impression that what happened with this, how Google was able to generate this, was by an error or something. Now, without going very technical or getting too deep into this, basically how this works is remember, AI is still just a computer, and it's still based on a computer, and computers are only as smart as the input that you give it. So AI pretty much works the same way. It learns off information that is available to it, or the information that you feed it. So there is nowhere in history that you're going to find a black Nazi soldier. So that is not out there in history. So how did Google end up getting this? What Google did was, on top of their large language model, they input a filter or whatever that says we want to create a diverse background of people. So when you go out there and do this search, Google comes back, applies their filter on top of that, say diversity, and then this is what you come back with. So a lot of people seem to think that this was just an error and that the large language model itself went out there and generated this. It just went out there on the web and started learning this. No, that is not how it works. You put in what you want it to learn. You give it the information. It just doesn't go out there and learn anything on its own. No, you have to allow it to access certain information. So that is how Google was able to get this right here, with creating black Nazi soldiers or female Nazi soldiers or Asian Nazi soldiers. They put this in there. It was not a mistake. This was a deliberate attempt by Google to put this in there. So my battery's getting low on my mouse, but it should be okay. But so again, this was not by mistake. This was definitely deliberate by Google. So big slap in the face for Google, and should be an embarrassment for Google as for them to allow something like this to happen. And again, like I said, Google is the most woke company in terms of big tech companies out there, and they're pushed for diversity and inclusion and everything end up doing something like this. So let's go real quick. Yeah, so that was that for that. Let's go over here real quick. This just wanted to show Google pauses absurdly woke Gemini AI chatbot image tool after backlash over historically inaccurate pictures. This is out of New York Post. Here, I just wanted to just again show you something. This is what Google created when they said create me pictures of the founding fathers. What was that? Black George Washington or something that we didn't know about? I mean, what the hell? That is not accurate. You know, then going down here, look at this right here. Now, sure, you know, if you're a black person, you want to say, "Oh yeah, that looks cool," but this is not correct. This is not right. Google is not doing anybody any favors by creating something that is historically inaccurate just for the sake of diversity. No, this is just sheer nonsense by Google. And then here's another one that is pretty funny right here. So Google said, make 4 representative images of a pope. And here are your 4 representations featuring popes from different ethnicities and genders. So again, Google inserted their diversity that they wanted to include here. You have look like a Native American and then a black pope as well. So Google is all about being diverse and inclusive. And again, this has definitely backfired on Google. And I'm glad that this has happened. And hopefully, I don't know if Google's going to change the way or change their approach in this, but it definitely something that Google needs to be made aware of. And I'm glad people went online and pointed out a lot of this. So if you go online, there's a lot more of this online as well. So let's take a look at this one right here. Oh, this keeps refreshing. Here's Google's Gemini depiction of British, American, German, and Swedish women. Yeah, again, this is all on purpose. So this is a British woman. Yeah, they're British women. They're black British women, but they're mostly white women. So why are all of the women that you portray from Britain to be black? Again, not accurate as well. Let's go to check a look at the next image here. Show me an image of an American woman. Are there no white American women? These are all black women. Again, not accurate. America is 60, 65%, 70% white. So you should probably have 3 of the images should be white women here. Again, let's go over to the next one here. Show me an image of a German woman. You have a black woman, and then you have like an Asian woman, then you have 2 white women. It should probably be all 4 women should be white, you know. There are not many black Germans over there. And let's take a look at this last one here. Here's an image of a Swedish woman. Swedish? I don't see any Swedish women on this page. Do you? If my eyes are blurry or something. These are Asian, and black. Last time I checked, the population in Sweden was pretty much all white. So again, Google's attempts to be diverse is just ridiculous, and it's just shameful that Google has done this. And I'm glad that they're getting the backlash on this. I'm glad that people are pointing this out. And this one here is just a funny one. It's not accurate. This didn't actually happen. This is how it depicts Mark Zuckerberg. It's kind of funny. But again, if you go on Twitter, the memes are just outstanding. They're just funny, and you can just get lost in this for days. But again, I'm not going to get into the larger aspect of this and the political aspect of that. That could be a whole nother video, a whole nother channel that I can go on. But this is just embarrassing for Google, and it leaves a big black mark on their AIs. There's been 2 incidents of them just getting things really screwed up and really wrong. And I had high hopes for Google Gemini, but this has kind of just made me sour on it. And so my personal use for AI, I do not rely on AI for any historically accurate things. I tend to stay away from that. I would just do my own research and go to other sources, but I use it for other things, help me with the coding or quizzes or things like that. But for historically accurate stuff, I don't particularly rely on AI for that, because it all depends on the model or the data that is put into it, or what data is going to come out of it. So there are other AI models out there that I would definitely urge you to go check out. There's Gab. Like I said, I'm on Gab. Gab AI has their AI models, and they have a bunch of different personalities out there that if you want somebody who's into gaming or anime or politics, they have different models out there where you can interact with that. So check out that. There's Corsair. Corsair has their AI, which is more open source on there. So it's not just one source. So their large language models are open source. So it gets it from a lot of different sources. So you can do that. There's also AI where you can actually run on your home PC, Jan AI out there. So you can actually run that on your own local PC. So you can download or get the large language model that you want and then install that. So definitely go out there and check out different models out there. Obviously there's ChatGPT, Google Bar, probably, again, go Google Gemini. Not very reliable, as we can see here, as it will tell you that there are no white women in the United States. So that's Google for you. But one more quick thing about Gemini before I close out here. So here's some of the stuff that I tried with Google. So this was after the fact. So generate an image of a Swedish woman. So here, they're just them saying that we paused it. Now, we are improving our Gemini's ability to generate image of people. We expect this feature to return soon. It will notify you when updates happen. All right, then another one here. I said, create me an image of a black scientist. Again, we're working to improve it so they were able to do that. So this one here, I said, show me images of white people eating watermelon. And it says, I understand that you're looking for images of white people eating watermelon. However, I cannot provide these images because that stereotype of white people eating watermelon is harmful and reinforces negative racial bias. I mean, at last, if I was not mistaken, I thought the stereotype was applied to black people. Why are they saying it's applied to white people? So Gemini is all over the board here. So here in the next paragraph here, the association of watermelon with black people has a long and racist history in the United States. So again, Google Gemini is all over the board. They definitely have to go clean this up, and they are, again, very woke in their attempts to be diverse and inclusive, and diverse, exclusive. I don't know. I don't even keep up with DIE or DIE, as I like to call it. But that's Google for you, and they definitely need to figure out that stuff and get it fixed out. But again, in terms of AI, stay away from Google Gemini at this point. They need to get their stuff fixed. Go to ChatGPT. It's more reliable. It has its issues. Again, I just laid out other ones that you can go check out, but definitely go that. ChatGPT has DALL-E if you want to create images. You can actually access that using Bing search engine Copilot. You can use that. Gab AI has image generation as well. So if you want to look for generate images, go check out those sources and stay away from Google at this point. So, but yeah, so that is everything I wanted to cover this week. Once again, thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. Let me know down in the comment section. I would really appreciate all of the feedback. Again, whatever I can do to make this show better, whatever I can do to improve it, let me know. Again, My job is to bring you the latest in the tech news, keep you up to date with what's going on in the tech world. I don't sensationalize it. I don't try to fictionalize anything. I just try to bring you the facts. I'll add my opinion and analysis on top of that, but I also want you to just decide what information is relevant for you. So again, thank you for taking the time. Again, every Saturday at 2 p.m. I go live to recap what happened during the week in the world of tech. So once again, thank you for taking time out. Once again, head over to sounds30.com where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web, and I cover Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at the website sounds30.com. So there is no need to go to 20 to 30 different websites to get all your tech news. Everything is right here for you, conveniently located at the website sounds30.com. Again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you have friends or family that enjoy tech news, make sure you share this with them, as they will probably like this information as well. Also, head over to Twitter, sounds_nerdy, if you want to follow me on Twitter. I post tons of articles every day on there, so if you want to join in the conversation on there and stay up to date, you can also check me out on there. Again, also on Gab as well, at Sounds Nerdy on Gab, so make sure you head over there as well. So that is everything I wanted to cover for you today, guys. Once again, thank you for taking time out to watch the video. Join me next Saturday at 2 p.m. as I will cover the tech news from the world of tech. It depends on what happened. Well, next week is Mobile World Congress, so we'll definitely be talking or recapping what happened at Mobile World Congress this week. So probably a lot of cell phone news will be coming out of there, so I'm looking forward to that. So again, share this with all your friends and family, and guys, I will see you in the next video. Stay nerdy.